thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is Breaking Ground and I'm Hina Gambhir. A 35-minute phone call between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump has revealed the reality of ceasefire. The call clarifies that the United States of America had no role at all in brokering the ceasefire between India and Pakistan last month. During a 35-minute phone call with Donald Trump, Prime Minister Modi stated that the ceasefire was agreed upon only after Pakistan pleaded for it and not due to any kind of external mediation. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, briefing on the call, said that the Prime Minister has made it absolutely clear that at no point during the events and at no level was there any discussion about US involvement in the ceasefire or about a US-India trade deal as being claimed by Donald Trump earlier. He also dismissed claims of such talks with US President J.D. Vance. Listen in.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी और राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप की मुलाकात G7 समिट की साइडलाइंस पर होनी तय थी। राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप को जल्दी वापस अमेरिका लौटना पड़ा, जिसके कारण ये मुलाकात नहीं हो पाई। इसके बाद राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप के आग्रह पर आज दोनों लीडर्स की फोन पर बात हुई। बातचीत लगभग 35 मिनट चली। 22 अप्रैल को पहलगाम आतंकी हमले के बाद राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप ने फोन पर प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को शोक संवेदना प्रकट की थी और आतंक के खिलाफ समर्थन व्यक्त किया था। उसके बाद दोनों लीडर्स की ये पहली बातचीत थी। इसलिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप से ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के बारे में विस्तार से बात की। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप को स्पष्ट रूप से कहा कि 22 अप्रैल के बाद भारत ने आतंकवाद के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करने का अपना दृढ़ संकल्प पूरी दुनिया को बता दिया था। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने कहा कि 6-7 मई की रात को भारत ने पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तान ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर में सिर्फ आतंकी ठिकानों को ही निशाना बनाया था। भारत के एक्शन बहुत ही मेजर्ड, प्रिसाइज और नॉन एस्केलेटरी थे।
So you just heard the Foreign Secretary of India. Now let's tell you a little bit more about this Modi-Trump phone call that lasted for about 35 minutes. And in this phone call, Prime Minister Modi briefed Donald Trump on Operation Sindoor. US informed on precision strikes. That was another important update that came in. Apart from that, strikes were precise and non-escalatory is what Prime Minister Modi has reportedly told US President Donald Trump. Modi clear stand on ceasefire as well. Remember, it is Donald Trump himself who has been repeatedly claiming credit, and he also made it clear that there were no talks on mediation with the United States of America. Ceasefire talks happened directly with Pakistan, between India and Pakistan, and discussions on Pakistan's request. It was Pakistan that wanted a ceasefire, and after it reached out to India, that's when India agreed for this conditional ceasefire, or a ceasefire understanding, as India called it. Scoop 8, India never accepted US mediation, something that Trump has been claiming again and again. Apart from that, he reportedly said that no third-party mediation was ever needed because that has been the policy of India. And PM once also said that India will respond to Pakistan. Now, this is what we have got for you as far as the details, are concerned of this 35-minute phone conversation between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump. Now, BJP has slammed the Congress party, calling their claims busted and dusted. BJP leaders stated that there was no intervention by President Trump in India's internal matters. The party accused Congress of being a factory of fake news and said that once again, their narrative stands exposed after the PM-Trump conversation. BJP also charged Congress with being part of the Tukde Tukde gang. Listen in.
कांग्रेस पार्टी फेक न्यूज की फैक्ट्री है, झूठ की जननी है और उसके तमाम झूठों का जो मोदी विरोध में उतरते उतरते भारत विरोधी झूठ थे, पाकिस्तान परस्ती वाले झूठ थे, उनका आज पर्दाफाश हो चुका है, वो ध्वस्त हो चुके हैं। आज प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने साफ साफ डोनाल्ड ट्रंप जी से कह दिया कि कोई मध्यस्थता, कोई इंटरवेंशन, कोई हस्तक्षेप किसी तीसरे देश ने नहीं किया, बल्कि पाकिस्तान के डीजीएमओ ने भारत के डीजीएमओ को कॉल किया जब उसको मुंह तोड़ जवाब और कार्रवाई का सामना करना पड़ा। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने साफ शब्दों में कह दिया, जो कांग्रेस कहती है ना कि हमने सरेंडर कर दिया, अभी भी ऑपरेशन सिंदूर जारी है और आगे भी गोली का जवाब गोले से दिया जाएगा।
देखिए, आज की तारीख में कांग्रेस पार्टी को देश से माफी मांगनी चाहिए, क्योंकि जब प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने स्पष्ट कर दिया यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के प्रेसिडेंट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को कि नो थर्ड कंट्री वाज इन्वॉल्व्ड, देयर वाज नो थर्ड कंट्री व्हिच वाज इन्वॉल्व्ड इन मीडिएशन, देयर वाज नो मीडिएशन एंड देयर कैन नेवर बी अ मीडिएशन। और पाकिस्तान अगर गोली कर मारेगा हिंदुस्तान में, तो हिंदुस्तान गोली का जवाब गोले से देगा। इसके बावजूद अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी, भारत की सरकार, हमारी फोर्सेज, एमईए के स्टैंड में विश्वास नहीं रखती और आसिम मुनीर और पाकिस्तान में विश्वास रखती है, तो इससे यही स्पष्ट हो जाता है that the heart of Congress party does not lie in India and India's national interest, it lies in the Pakistani interest. This is why everybody in the country are telling Rahul Gandhi and Jairam Ramesh that you are the front of the Tukde Tukde Congress, which keeps the enemy's interest on the forefront, not India's national interest.
Now, viewers, despite the BJP's strong rebuttal, Congress remains defiant, insisting that the statement regarding US non-intervention was issued solely by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The party highlights there has been no official response coming in from US President Donald Trump on the matter. Listen in.
There is no denial, either in the statement of White House or by Mr. Trump. What Modi is saying, if he is so, he should call the all party meet and a special session of parliament and divulge it. Then why he is running away from the parliament discussion and all party meeting? So, and moreover, what about the 14 times what Trump has said about that because of him the ceasefire was reached out? Either Trump should deny it, and of course Mr. Modi will not accept it, that the sovereignty of the country has been compromised.
Let me now go across to my colleague Rishabh joining us on the broadcast for more on this. Rishabh, it seems that even this new update that we have got on the story, the details of this 35-minute long conversation between Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump is not enough for the Congress party, because they will only believe, it seems, what Donald Trump will say or what the White House is going to say.
Well, for that matter, as of now, White House has not released any readout on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Trump 35-minute long call, and as of now, Washington has not released anything. The State Department, the US Embassy here in New Delhi, they all we have checked with, they are still waiting for a release from White House. There hasn't been any comment from White House on this. In the morning, Jairam Ramesh, while giving an news bite to news agency, showed something that was January 27. It actually, made us all look for that, readout for almost 30 minutes just to realize that it's an old readout that he is referring to. Now that there have been a complete transcript from, Prime Minister's office, and ME has also spoken about what all has been spoken. Foreign Secretary has himself spoken about what all was discussed in the 35-minute call. There have been politics around it. The Congress party is still not ready to accept what the government of India is saying, and as of now, there is no word coming in from Washington. So the only official word right now that we have is from the government of India, that has been officially released not only by the Foreign Secretary but also by the Minister of External Affairs in a form of press release. So the Congress party is questioning that press release. We'll have to wait for Washington to let all these questions be answered.
All right, Rishabh, thank you very much for the moment for joining us with your inputs on this story. And Let's now move on, viewers, and Prime Minister Modi's unequivocal message to Donald Trump regarding India-Pakistan ceasefire has ruffled the feathers of the Congress party, which Rishabh was also mentioning just now. So much so that they have now resorted to their favorite talent, which is fakery. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh, in his desperate bid to malign Modi, claimed what the Prime Minister told Trump is not matching with the statement released by the US. But viewers, what is interesting to note here is that Jairam Ramesh was actually citing a January 2025 press release and presented it as a statement of Prime Minister and Trump's most recent conversation. Now, the BJP was quick to pounce on to the Congress's latest fakery bid, terming it an attempt to undermine Prime Minister and Bharat's strong standing. Let's first listen in to what Jairam Ramesh said and then how the BJP reacted.
राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप ने 14 बार कहा है कि मेरे मध्यस्थता के कारण भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच में युद्ध विराम हुआ, यानी कि भारत को ऑपरेशन सिंदूर रोकने को मैंने मजबूर किया और मैंने ट्रेड और टैरिफ नॉट तारीफ, प्रधानमंत्री तारीफ सुनना चाहते हैं और राष्ट्रपति टैरिफ की बात करते हैं। आज खबर आई है कि प्रधानमंत्री और राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप के बीच में 35 मिनट का एक फोन कॉल हुआ है। प्रधानमंत्री ने क्या कहा, विदेश सचिव ने हमें कहा है, देश के सामने रखा है। ट्रंप ने भी निकाला, ये प्रेस नोट निकाला है कि मैंने क्या बात की, यानी कि जो राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप कहते हैं कि ये बातचीत हुई और जो प्रधानमंत्री हमें कहा जाता है कि प्रधानमंत्री ने ये बात की, ये जमीन आसमान का फर्क है।
This is not the first time that the Congress party has tried a narrative that is fake and false, and this is not the first time that the Congress narrative has been demolished. The only man who is not convinced about this or wants to live in a fake metaverse is Rahul Gandhi ji, and Rahul Gandhi ji is as I've told you, has collapsed on the edifice of fake narratives not once, not twice. Congress will never accept that they are wrong. How can they accept that they are wrong when their party and their leadership the entire political strategy is based on lies. Rahul Gandhi has successfully failed repeatedly in many elections. He has always projected lies. Narendra Modi ji surrendering the interests of India is a scenario that will never ever happen.
कांग्रेस पार्टी इंडस्ट्रियल स्केल की लायर है, झूठ की जननी है, फेक न्यूज की फैक्ट्री है और उसके सबसे बड़े फेक न्यूज के सप्लायर है जयराम रमेश, जिनको कहा जा सकता है कि ये इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स के पिनोकियो वही थे जो झूठ बोलते थे तो नाक बड़ी होती थी। जयराम रमेश ने अब एक और नया झूठ फैलाया। उन्होंने कहा ट्रंप की बातें और ट्रंप के प्रेस रिलीज में अंतर है, और एक प्रेस रिलीज दिखाया उन्होंने जिसका स्क्रीनशॉट है ये अपनी बाइट के दौरान, और जब गहराई से देखा गया तो ये स्क्रीनशॉट जो वो दिखा रहे थे वो 27 जनवरी 2025 का बता रहे हैं कि अभी प्रेस रिलीज अलग है और ट्रंप साहब ने जो बोला अलग है। ये इंडस्ट्रियल स्केल के झूठे
जो जयराम रमेश ऐसे फोन को आगे कर कुरा के लेटर ये दिखा रहे हैं, वो व्हाइट हाउस के पुराने स्टेटमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं। आज कांग्रेस पार्टी ने वापस से स्पष्ट कर दिया वो भारत के हित के साथ नहीं, पाकिस्तान के हित के साथ खड़ी है।
Let me now go across to my colleague Mohit, joining us live, and I believe he has with him Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Mohit, over to you.
Well, yes, in fact, we are being joined by senior BJP leader and Union Minister Hardeep Puri. Now, we have seen that since morning when this news came out, that Prime Minister has made it clear to US President Donald Trump that there was no third-party mediation, and also any act of terror will be treated as act of war. We have seen how Congress has reacted and they have resorted to fakery. To talk to us more on that, we have Union Minister Hardeep Puri. So we have seen that how Prime Minister today made it clear that there will be no third-party intervention. India agreed for ceasefire because Pakistani DGMO called Indian DGMO. But the Congress party, Jairam Ramesh, cited an old notification, old press release from US, which was dated January 2025, and said that nothing of that sort is mentioned in US statement, but the fakery was called out. How do you see this?
Look, it's customary for governments, after their leaders have
undertaken a conversation with their counterparts in other countries to give a readout. Now, clearly what happened in this case is that Jairam Ramesh ji is quoting from a readout of January 25th, I think. January 25th this year.
January 20th year, yes.
January 25th this year. And he's making that out to be a readout of a conversation which has taken place today, which is 18th of June. Now, is this ineptitude, incompetence, or is this an outright lie? My suspicion, it's all three. Because if you are reasonably smart, that is, if you have some sense of propriety, then you will not indulge in fakery of this kind. So I think what has happened is that Jairam Ramesh either didn't look at it, or he looked at it thinking nobody will catch on, and he's been caught, as the expression goes, in his case also, with his pants down. So today he is being ridiculed all over that he's trying to produce a false narrative based on false evidence. Also the other things they've been saying, Prime Minister not been invited to G7, that India is isolated. Not only has the Honorable Prime Minister attended all meetings of the G7 since I think about 2018 or so, but look at the kind of other fakery that was being. Oh, no, they showed pictures of little Sikh boys,
yes.
Indulging in what clearly is a motivated, and despicable act, and people protesting against us. But I said that to you, I think, the other day, that a neighbor of ours, the Western neighbor, their agencies actually, Pakistani agencies, actually fund these misguided people to protest. Now, what happened in this case is that they were funded, but they didn't receive the fund, so they went and protested against those who were supposed to be their funders. So you have a very interesting situation. What is the situation? That the guys whom you hire, I used the word, bhade ke tattu the other day,
yes, sir.
Which is exactly what they are. And for the Congress party, or for any other one, to point a light at these people means you are truly, you're doing somebody else's dirty tricks department work. And I really think the Congress party, especially their leader, who I believe is on every quarter he goes on holiday, so I don't know, this is for this quarter's debiting or last quarter's leave, but wherever he is, I think he should sack a few of these people, because they not only peddle fake narratives, they get caught peddling fake narratives, and I think the process of discourse in a democracy which is based on credibility, they've lost it completely.
So, the Congress, Rahul Gandhi, they all have been saying this for a long time since ceasefire happened between India and Pakistan, that why, and they were citing statement by Donald Trump, that why it was Donald Trump who intervened, and the terms like surrender was being used. But now when PM has clarified, and with a call, how do you see it?
I must say, we made it clear all along.
All along.
In fairness, right from the pre-Modi era, we have always said that we will deal with Pakistan bilaterally. We have also said that we will deal with Pakistan bilaterally. We don't provide any room for third-party mediation. And what happened in this case is the sequence is clear. I mean, it's been reiterated. Now, don't tell me so-and-so said this, because I am not in the business of interpreting other people. But I know what the Indian position is. I was a civil servant, MEA, Foreign Service for 39 years. 6 years I was doing international things. At no stage, especially in the post-Modi era, would we expect or accept any other person to mediate in this. What happened here is, in 22 minutes, we were able to cause devastation in their terror establishments, security establishments linked. We clarified it's not an attack against Pakistan. It's a non-escalatory attack on their terror establishments. We've also clarified talks and terror do not go together. Trade and terror don't go together. An act of terror is an act of war, and we made it absolutely clear. Absolutely clear, Operation Sindoor is ongoing. And I'm glad that this 35-minute conversation between Prime Minister and the US President, of which we have been given this readout by Foreign Secretary Mishri, has finally put all of this not only in perspective, put it to rest. We have been maintaining it earlier also, but coming from the Prime Minister and in the readout given through Vikram Mishri, I think this is the final part.
So do you think it's a political compulsion for the Congress party to oppose whatever Prime Minister says without looking at the facts? Because Jairam Ramesh has said that it was an error, but he has not apologized.
No, it's like this. It's like this. You are asking me to answer a very tricky thing. Political compulsion to lie, is that what it comes down to? I mean, if you have any credibility, I mean, one of the things I was taught by a boss very early in my life is, dekho, you can lose an argument, all right? Your argument may not carry conviction, you may not be able to use the margin of persuasion, but that's only one argument that you lost. But if you lose credibility, you've lost your entire standing. Now, I don't know whether Jairam has apologized or he's been made to apologize.
He has not apologized. He said it was an error that he has put out.
It was an error that he put out. Well, that means it's short of an apology. But I'll tell you, Jairam is not only damaging his own credibility, but he is slowly but surely, he and some of his other colleagues are taking the Congress party down that. And that's a collective erosion. Erosion is again a mild term, but erosion is a term of geography, gets eroded. But this is a debilitating loss of credibility. And I think they should do some serious introspection.
So one last question. Now, we have seen that our opposition, specifically the Congress, has been attacking Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. Now, when it comes to Canada, first it was being said that Prime Minister is not invited to G7. And now that he has gone there, Canada has clearly talked off on terror.
I'll tell you something. The whole thing is baloney. Prime Minister not been invited. Who are you? Is the invitation going to be routed through you?
Yeah.
It's up to the two governments to decide when they want to announce an invitation. If I have a dinner in my house at 16th of this thing, I don't make a public announcement. There's an expectation that if I'm a host country, certain people will be invited. There was every expectation that India would be invited.
All right, so that was an exclusive conversation my colleague Mohit Bhatt was having with Union Minister Hardeep Puri, who said that perhaps for the Congress party, it is a political compulsion to lie, and this is a debilitating loss of credibility, and the party should introspect. We'll see how now the Congress party will respond to this. We will slip into a very, very short break right now. More updates on the other side. Don't go anywhere.